Hello everyone, this is Susie Beiler. Welcome to episode 16. As I channel today, I invite you to open your hearts so that you can discern if this information is for you. And as always, my intention is to be as pure and clear as possible without any of my personal filters or judgments.
We have observed long, laser straight marks cutting through many rocks in Sedona. Is there clarity as to what has occurred here?
Dear ones, I will do my best through this channel as this information is somewhat complex. These lines were put there by your galactic brothers and sisters. You could say that there were wars, and these lines were used to mark territory. They were used as communication. There is symbology and codes within these lines. And you can see that they have been there for quite some time, as there are now quartz crystals growing in many of them. You have been told that Sedona was under water at some period of time. And in truth, it has been underwater and above water and underwater and above water for many cycles. There is much more to this, dear ones. However, it is far beyond this channel's comprehension, and so there is not much that I can convey through her at this time. I would invite you, if you live in Sedona and you want more information about this, to go to some of these spots and observe the lines and to sit in meditation with them. And if you are a sensitive being, you will receive some of the information about this.
What can you tell us about Swissindo?
Dear ones, there are many pockets of prosperity that are being held for such a time when they are revealed and the light workers are assisted as the new world is created. This is one of these pockets. Some of you have also heard of the dragon family in China and their hoards or stashes of gold. Simply understand, dear ones, that while some may see doom and gloom for the planet, while some may see the planet entering a cycle of destruction, there are those light beings who know that this planet and its inhabitants are headed for glory. And so while much may seem that it is being destroyed, you talk about global warming and climate change, you see the banking system taking advantage of people. Please understand that you are only seeing these things in the moment without the greater perspective of what is about to happen. We have conversed about these exciting times and what will be unfolding. And so I invite you to hold the light, to hold the knowing and understanding that much will be transforming for the greatest good of all, that you will be experiencing your heaven on earth, despite what you might see in your limited vision at this time. Dear ones, things are about to change very rapidly. Swissindo is playing their role in assisting the new paradigm of this planet.
Some have spoke of upcoming changes of world leaders this month. Is there any information you can share about this?
As I have said, dear ones, much will be transforming in a very short amount of time. And what you will see is a change in leadership. We spoke in another conversation about the light workers and how many are ready to step up and take the place in government positions and other world leadership positions. And so you will begin to see this fairly rapidly, dear ones. Yes, the timeline is set for this month. However, whenever we speak about timelines, I invite you to keep your mind and heart open and not become attached. For as you realize and have already seen, timelines can shift very rapidly in your experience. Yes, dear ones, the time is upon you where much shall shift for the benefit of the light. Much has been put in place already. The new world leaders are already groomed and ready to step up into new positions of power for the light.
Can you give us a protocol for healing ourselves?
Yes, dear ones. I thank you for asking this question, for there is much power in what I am about to share with you. Dear ones, it starts with your desire, intention, and commitment. You must desire to find your wholeness and to heal yourselves, not from the perspective of getting rid of a disease or being tired of dealing with a pain in your body. It must be from that soul desire of becoming whole, that which serves your ascension, that which serves the highest good. It must come from the desire to develop mastery in your physical being, in your thought form. Do you see the difference, dear ones? It is not to gain relief. It is to do the hard work and develop your mastery. This is a very important distinction, dear ones. And when you are in the place where you are truly and fully desiring your mastery and to find your wholeness, to remember your wholeness once again, this is when we can begin. I say we, meaning myself and you, dear one. There is an understanding that you must have. We have spoken about soul aspects and how you have many soul aspects, and each has an awareness in different realms and different realities. In order to remember your wholeness in this realm, in this human incarnation that your soul has chosen, you must call forth all of your soul aspects so that they can come into alignment with the soul aspect that has chosen to experience this human body. You must call forth these soul aspects and let them know that the aspect in charge of your human incarnation is the aspect in charge of them also. And in this way, you concentrate your power in your physical experience as a human being. When you have done this, dear ones, then you are ready to deal with each layer of your human incarnation. You have your spiritual body, your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, your inner child. And some talk about other bodies, but for the purposes of this conversation, we shall keep it succinct. Let us speak about the spiritual body, dear ones. In some ways, it is very closely linked to the soul. But you could say that it has its own separate body. What you are dealing with here is mostly energy, dear ones. And so to claim healing for yourself, you must become a master of your energy. Providing protection for yourself when you are in lower vibrating environments. Getting enough sleep so that your energetic stores can be rejuvenated. Eating proper food that is in energetic alignment with your spiritual body. Let us speak about the mental body. In the last conversation, we spoke about thought forms. In order to claim your healing, dear ones, you must become a master of how you use your thoughts. Which thoughts will you allow to grow and become a creation in your experience? And which thoughts will you release and transmute? You may notice, dear ones, that there are those around you who have traumatic experiences. And you yourself may be much more free and clear of these experiences if you do not bring into your creation with thought forms experiences such as these. Oftentimes this channel will notice those around her bringing into their creation challenging experiences while she lives a beautiful life because she has cleansed her thoughts, so to speak, and in many ways has gained mastery over which thoughts she allows into her experience. She is not perfect, dear ones, but she has done much work with this. And you too can experience the lives that you desire, the health, the wholeness that you desire, by mastering which thoughts you allow into your experience to become creations. Many of you wish to have more prosperity, wish to have greater health, more energy. It is simple, dear ones. Bring more of these thought forms into your experience and feed them and grow them. Yes, there is more to the equation, but this is the mental body's job as part of this equation to claim your health. There is the emotional body, dear ones. This is a challenging one for those of you who are particularly sensitive, for it can become very confusing which emotion is yours and which emotion you are carrying for the collective. And so there is again this mastery that you must gain in order to find your wholeness and your health. This channel speaks about expanding the emotional range. What this means is you are okay with feeling deep grief and sadness. You are equally okay with experiencing great levels of true joy and happiness, for they are two sides of the same coin, dear ones. You cannot only experience joy, but there comes a time deep within your mastery where even if you are experiencing deep grief, joy is very close by, because you know that in feeling the deep grief, you are gaining mastery and trust in your emotional body. Many times in the past, dear ones, I have invited you to feel what it is you feel. Now is not the time to suppress emotions Now is the time to open up your emotional body to its feeling. For when you become okay with any emotion, this is when your emotional body is balanced and you are able to use this part of the equation to claim your health. And now we shall speak about the physical body. Dear ones, something only shows up in the physical body if you are out of balance with your soul aspects or in your spiritual, mental, or emotional layer, or if your inner child is not fully healed and nurtured and loved. And so it does not matter what the disease or what diagnosis you might have. It is always the same. To bring into alignment all of your soul aspects, to balance your emotional body, to deal with your mental and spiritual layers as we have spoken. It is very important, dear ones, to care for your physical body. For while you may understand that it is a temporary vessel for your soul, in this now moment, it is your sacred temple where your soul is housed. And so in order to experience healing and wholeness, you must deeply love and nurture and care for this precious physical layer of your being. Eating foods that are in vibrational alignment with your physical body. Resetting your physical body by going into nature. Drinking lots of pure water to release and cleanse your body from toxins. It is very important for you to develop a trusting relationship with your body. Many of you who are experiencing health challenges have lost trust and faith that your body will take care of you. This is not your physical body's role, dear ones. Its role is to communicate with you, to let you know where you might grow and gain mastery. And so you must flip this around and learn to trust yourself. And learn to trust that the messages your bodies are giving you the proper information you need for your mastery. Begin to exercise gratitude for your physical body. In this moment, dear ones, feel the beating of your heart. It is a miracle how your heart continues to beat for you, despite the abuse you have shown your body. It is a miracle how the blood continues to flow through your veins and arteries, providing nourishment and life to each cell, despite the food that you have fed it, despite the thoughts that you have against your bodies. It is time to learn how to nourish and love your bodies. Lastly, we shall speak about the inner child. The vast majority of you, dear ones, have experienced some kind of trauma, misunderstanding, separation as a baby or a small child. This left imprints of trauma, anxiety, fear within your being. Most of you have not been taught that you can care for your inner child in order to find your healing and wholeness. And what this means is that you tune in to your inner child. This small, vulnerable, fragile being that has been hurt in your incarnation. And you ask it how you can support, how you can love, how you can nourish him or her. I will use this channel as an example again. What she has done in her healing is she carries her inner child on her chest. And if something is not feeling right, or if there's emotion that she does not understand, she looks down and asks her inner child, "What is it that you need, little one? How can I nourish and support you?" And because she has practiced listening, she always gets an answer and can then nurture that little being that needs love and support. Dear ones, this is a practice, as is all of these things that I am sharing with you. Remember that your goal here is to develop mastery. And so practice and commitment and discipline are required. When you can truly heal your inner child, meaning you are attentive to that little being and providing it with nourishment, when you align your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies and all soul aspects, this, dear one, is when you can find your healing and wholeness. There is much, much more that I could say about this. But in order to give you a starting point and to keep this conversation succinct, this is all I will say at this time. It is very doable, dear ones. And you have the support of the hierarchy. Remember to ask for the support on your journeys. Thank you, dear ones.
Is cancer a physical manifestation of negative thought form, or is there more to understand about this?
Yes, dear one. It is exactly what we have just spoken about. Whether it is cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, regardless of the name you call it or the diagnosis. It is more than just the thought forms involved. It is also what we have spoken about with each layer of your being.
Have negative energies attached to money cause pervasive illness around the world? Will this be transmuted as the energy of money is transmuted?
This has played a part, dear ones, however, this is not the complete picture. And yes, as the energy of money is transmuted, it will greatly assist in raising the vibration, providing support for the health and wholeness of all.
Are there particular energies or chakras affected by the current negative energies associated with money to assist in being aware of energies to work through?
Yes, dear ones. Because in these times, money is essential for your survival, it does affect the balance of your chakras if you are not allowing the flow in your life. The way to find balance in this is to strengthen your trust muscle, so to speak. As you trust that you will be taken care of, as you release your fears and anxieties and transmute them, turning them into the highest forms of love and light, you can begin to find more balance within your chakras and within your being and within your life. Yes, there are the practical things that you must be doing at this time in order to receive money, in order to be in that flow, It is not only trust, this is balanced with practicality, taking inspired action, engaging in the right job or income generating experience that is in alignment for you. In most cases, it does not materialize out of thin air. But for most of you, what is required is increasing your levels of trust. Remember to carefully choose which thought forms become creations in your being. And this can make a very big difference in your experience. If a being is not happy within him or herself and is looking externally to find happiness, this never works, dear ones. The only way you can experience true joy is to be content and at peace within yourself. No external experience will give you abiding joy. Whether we are speaking about attachment to money or attachment to some other external experience or material possession, none of this brings abiding happiness that can only be found within your core, dear ones.
Is there anything else Prime Creator would like to share with those watching this video?
Dear ones, we have spoken briefly about the exciting unfolding events that are rapidly coming into your existence. Even if you do not see how this might be possible to experience heaven on this earth, I invite you to use your imagination. What is it that you have always longed for from that soul place? What are your true heart's desires? For as you engage in these energies, you become part of the creation of heaven on earth. And the more you nurture these thought forms and energies, the more you contribute to the creation of heaven on earth. There are many beings, dear ones, that have been holding the light for this planet for some time. And now you, as humans, are being invited to step up and take part in this creation. Yes, there is still much illusion that surrounds you. And you have a choice. You can believe the illusion, or you can believe in the light and what is about to occur. And the more of you that choose to hold the space for heaven on earth to occur in your lifetimes, the faster this shall come about. What we are working to create, dear ones, is what you have longed for such a long time. You have incarnated into this lifetime to experience what the light is creating, to experience this heaven on your earth. And each one of you, dear ones, has a very important role to play in this. So while your family might think that you are crazy, while your friends may not understand your perspective, if you are one that holds the knowing of the truth of what is about to unfold, I invite you, please hold the light for these events to occur quickly, with ease and grace, and the highest good for all. Simply holding the knowing is service, dear ones. Whether or not you choose to share your knowing with others is completely up to you, and there is no judgment either way. However, please know that when you do share, sparks of creation emanate from your being, and some will choose to remember their knowing in listening to what you have to say. And some will not, dear ones, and they may ridicule. And that is okay, for they are making their choice. Your role is to stay in the knowing of who you are and what you know is possible, and what you know you are creating. Dear ones, this is not a time to be vague. This is not a time to be wishy-washy, as you might say. This is a time to stand firm in your knowing, to stand firm in the power that you have in holding the light. For the stronger you can stand in your knowing, the more power emanates from your being, and the more you are assisting this bringing of heaven to earth. Indeed, it is already here, and many of you are catching glimpses. But in order for it to fully materialize, you must commit to experiencing more heaven in your daily experience. I call to you, dear ones, to remember yourselves as masters, to allow the awakening of mastery within your being. For this is why you are here. It is not to simply have an experience on this planet. You who are watching this, you who are tuning in, you are here to remember and to exercise your mastery. For you agreed to come into this experience as a human, to assist in bringing heaven to earth. And I thank you, dear ones. I hold you in the highest esteem. You are beautiful souls who agreed to assist at this time. And you have suffered much ridicule. And some of you have suffered with health challenges and with lack of prosperity. Keep the faith, dear ones, for this is about to change. And continue to do your inner work, as I have outlined earlier in this conversation. You have much support, dear ones. Call upon it. And I thank you for your service. Thank you, dear ones. Wow, that was powerful and beautiful. I thank you for that inspiration and the beauty of that message, Prime Creator. I keep looking up as if he's right there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time.